This is my final video for my SideShow collection that I've received recently, and another controversial, I suppose, figure you would say about this Superman. I would say that's controversial is this bloody picture here of Superman. Anyway, let's move this figure out of the way. That is the straightest waist Superman, flattest torso Superman I've ever seen. No bum Superman. What can I say? Square, almost a square face Superman. Whoever did that picture, they need a smack on the hand. I tell you, that's one of the worst slips I've ever had. That's a terrible picture. If it wasn't for the cape and the suit, I'd scrap it, honestly. So that's my hate. This I'm going to throw that away, but unfortunately this same picture is on the back. But I do like this one, and I like the yellow. Just get rid of that. There we go. I feel better now. There's a nice little Superman writing there. Yeah, that's pretty, pretty plain, pretty straightforward. But what I do like is the line, this little pattern on the back side here. Okay. Now we'll get back to the Superman. Hopefully that's coming through clearly, not blurry, because the last video I did on this was out of focus and I wasn't happy, so I'm just going to have a quick look. Okay, first of all we'll just have a little quick chat about the head. Now, I think Tony May had the right idea, honestly, to say the truth. He did go to work on the head and just slightly tapered the jawline down. So what I have done is carve the insides of these jaws and thinned them out a bit and set them in hot and cold water just to make them slightly straighter, thinner. So that's what I have done. I've sort of taken the swelling away from the jawline, I suppose you'd say. Other than that, I don't mind the head. It's I think Tony May actually put his on a Hot Toys Man of Steel body, and of course he's done a new suit of some sort. Yeah, other than that, I don't mind the head at all. Now, the only other little issue that I had, which it's not a major, and just the chest area. For some reason, they wanted to slimline the chest and make it quite flat. So I'm not sure why they've done that. But as you can see, it's very flat. I would have preferred a slightly bigger pectoral and chest area, like most Supermans do have, to blend in with his shoulders, and it wouldn't look so sort of, I don't know, very plain. But the rib area and the rest of the torso, that's fine. The cape, I don't mind the cape, it sits quite well. You can see the little bit of the blue. You don't have to, you can tuck it in like if you want to, but I like to see a little bit of the blue. This is a nice cape that it comes with the figure. It's hemmed on the sides, no wire, and straight cut on the bottom. It's quite soft and satiny. It's very, yeah, drapes really well. Whereas this one is the new, the second cape that comes with it, and that's pretty much a real thick cotton, or somewhat thick cotton. It's a fine cotton, but it's double layered. So it's got wires down the side, and it is very, very heavy. So it won't get that sort of, I can't imagine it having that many sort of wrinkles when you want to pose it, having those wrinkles. So if you wanted to use that, pose the cape in some way, you can probably use that one, but I personally won't be using that. Certain poses with this figure are effective. This one is not a bad one. It's not a bad one. It's straightforward, the typical Superman. But then I mean, if you don't get the arms set right, like on the right angles to the forearms and blending in and having that straight flow, it's not going to look very good at all. So it's very important to have this figure set in certain poses to make it more effective. I'll just go down to the shoes. The shoes are quite good. They have a two-tone. They've been darkened and they have like a black overspray in certain parts of the boot just to make it more effective. It's a two-section piece boot. It's articulated at the ankle, and I think they've done a fairly good job of blending it in as one. So I think it's very important to have the flexibility and the movement in that section, especially if you want to have him in a flying position. It's very important that you can straighten those feet as much as you can. So they've done well there. That's a great idea what they've done there. I like the boots. I think they're great. The thigh thickness is not too bad. It's not big like the Batman. I think I've just been spoiled with the Batman in certain ways. He's quite thick, but I don't mind the body actually. Just wish that chest was a little bit bigger. Okay, what you get? I have the exclusive version. So this is I think it's called, the head. This is based from Metallo. I'm not familiar with the enemy or who he is, but this head comes in with a neck piece, with wires hanging out. And I'll just give you a quick look at that. And the hand is fixed to the helmet, where it's crushing into the helmet, and it's been glued. The jaw does open and close if you wish to have it open and closed. Yeah, and not too bad. Okay, so that's the exclusive. Then it comes with the heat vision or heat ray eyes. It's the smouldering eyes, if you wish. I like this. I've actually tapered that as well. I've got into the inside of the jaws there and thinned them out as well, just to bring the jaws in. It's only a slight. It's been brought in a little bit, not a lot. So I didn't really want to go over the top. And the smiling head of Superman, which is not too bad if you want a friendly sort of thumbs up type Superman pose. Not one that I would probably do, but a lot of people would. Now you get an additional 5 hands. Now you have your 2 flying hands. Okay, they're not too bad. They're not dead straight. They're a little bit of a bend in them. Then you have these are unusual. This is like a semi-open sort of relaxed hand. With the pinky curling in a bit more than normal. And then you have this, well, semi-clutched 2-finger sticking out. Probably something you'd use for like an action pose hand. I'm not too sure, but you could use it for in-flight hands as well. And then, of course, the thumbs up. The thumbs up, everything's cool, Superman hand. Okay, so I'll bring it back up and just pretty much that's all I wanted to really say. There was a little bit of a unfolding issue I had in the cape here, and this little flap kept on poking back out, but it seems to have decided to stay in now. The base, just like your Planet Krypton iceberg type looking base, just a print, nothing special. SideShow don't go all out on their bases, so, which is cool. And here's the extendable piece for the flying Superman. Okay, so I'm going to give it a 3/4 thumbs up. I like it. It's not a wow factor for me, but I'm also happy to have it in my display top with with my other Supermans. I haven't opened my Christopher Reeves Hot Toys box yet. Still been boxed for over 2 years now, so I'm not sure if I should open it up or not, or just leave it in its box for another year or so. I don't know, really don't know. I'll just see what's around the corner for Supermans, and if I get bored and I think I want to have a look at the Superman, I'll definitely open it up. So there you have it. So crappy sleeve, a little bit of an issue with the cape, jaws were sticking out too far, tapered them in a little bit. I'm happy with how they are now. What I'll do is just do a couple more poses, probably with the heat vision eyes maybe, and call it quits at that. That's my video. I actually like the smouldering heat ray eye, heat whatever you call it, coming out of his eyes. It looks very good, and he's got more of an angrier face. Okay, I'll do probably another standing pose, just with again with the heat ray eyes, but on the ground. Okay, another action pose for Superman with his heat vision eyes, heat ray eyes. Again, so it's all about, with this figure, being like a DC comic version, it's all about the poses, guys. You can't just have him sort of a plain old stance. You really got to action him up and make him more effective, and it does. It pays off if you get those poses right. So this is just give you some examples of how he looks. When you stick that chest out as much as you can, even though he has a small chest, you really have to stick that chest out as much as you can, and arch him back and drop the head to really get it to look effective. Okay guys, that's enough for me. I'm just going to leave it at that. I was going to put some other clips in, but I think you've got the idea right of what it is. Okay, that's it for me. Hope you liked the new SideShow Superman. Test just went out. Catch ya.